I just started the recording. Welcome to part 2 of week 5 in mobile app portfolio 2. So talking about sprint planning, you guys are going to have a sprint planning meeting right after this, and we're going to get into some of that stuff. We're going to talk about a couple things, a couple more concepts. So having an agenda is something that can be really helpful for your actual planning, making like a daily schedule or agenda for when you want things to be due, if you don't find that the Trello board is good enough. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is punting. So punting, um, you may know the word from like football or something when you punt the ball. It's kind of, I mean, if you think about it, you kind of can remember it that way. You're punting something away. So what do you do when you're faced with a major blocker? Say, for example, one of your guys' apps is a voting app or something like that, and you have plans to connect it with the payment API somehow, right? Through Stripe. So we want to get people to pay or something like that. We want to be able to pay people with rewards through cryptocurrency, and we want to use an API to do that. Let's say we have a major block and this roadblock is, the API is not compatible or we can't get a key because it's, I don't know, too expensive or it's not approved in this country because, it's in USA only but not Canada. Something like that, like something outside of our control. When you're faced with a major roadblock like that, um, we could say this is an exogenous critical issue that needs resolution during our sprint. Well, some choices are available to your team here. So what we can do is we can punt the blocked user story from the current sprint and possibly replace it. We can punt a low priority user story and take on a new critical issue in the case of this issue, or we can punt the entire sprint and terminate the sprint early. So obviously these are extreme scenarios, but sometimes, if it's outside of your control or there's this huge roadblock or huge issue, you kick it away like that ball and you just put it back into the product backlog and you say, okay, we're not going to deal with this right now. This is a huge impossible task that we can't get through, and we're just going to have to punt it and start something else because this isn't going to be productive and we're just going to be sitting here, and so we need to choose a different user story or replace it with another task in the meantime. All right, so that's punting. You can download both of those PowerPoints right here in the PowerPoint file. Um, cool.